So what's good, Unc? I appreciate you being here with me. And I know once I watched this show, first off, I had my
Don't
cousin
pay no
with me.
attention to it.
Nah,
Don't pay no attention to what I'm doing. All right, go ahead.
so look, I had a while ago, I had DeAndre and them, and they was like watching Stranger Things, and I was like, you know what?
Yes, sir.
I was like, bro, what is y'all watching? I'm not watching nothing like this. Why would I watch something like this? You feel me? Just because it seemed a little odd to me. I didn't dig the time and everything. But then I sat down and I think I watched 3 seasons in like a weekend. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And but you wanna know what's crazy is that I did not expect because you kind of lose all hope when it comes to good writing. It ain't really a
facts.
lot of it is not a lot of good writing. Now I know you remember the writers going on strike. And I feel like soon as the writers went on strike, they was like, hmm, you know what? Flavor of love.
Yeah,
Because you remember the first if I'm not mistaken, just from my knowledge, I remember Survivor and I remember Real World
real.
and
Yeah,
as reality, right? And then Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson had Newlyweds. The
I
Osbournes
don't
had
remember
a
that.
show. Yeah, that was the first couple that had a show. And then I remember the Osbournes had a show, and then they had Hulk Hogan come in with a show. And then that's when they started popping off the flavor of love. And right when that happened, I feel like, then the writers came back and I feel like they was really like, you know what, we can start acting out reality. And TV just became trash and shows and movies just
Oh
became
no, TV was horrible since the writer's strike. The writer's strike, like you said, ushered in that whole reality TV craze, and now like we can make hit shows without actually having to pay nobody to write. We don't have to
right,
pay residuals for the rest of their life because like a lot of people don't know, writers get a check for every episode they write
right.
every time it play
Mm.
forever. Like literally, if
So
you
it's not
still alive and
so
you
it's
wrote
not
an
like that.
episode of Cheers back in the '80s,
Right,
you still get a check every time somebody play that episode. So
right.
yeah, they getting a lot of money now without having to put out good content. And it's ironic that you said that because I was just talking to somebody yesterday on the other podcast about how we paying these subscription fees, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you pay for a subscription. Like think about this. Hollywood used to have to take a chance
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't know if it was gonna be a hit. They didn't like they had to pay the writers, the actors, the producers. Everybody had to get paid. And then the
Right.
show come out or the movie come out and you don't know if it's gonna be a hit until the audience get to react to it. They don't know if they're gonna get a return on that investment. Now they're getting paid subscription fees, which means like take Netflix for example. They got 220 million subscribers.
Shit.
Even if you average out that everybody don't have the like the full HD package and all that other stuff, if you say $10 a month, if you
Mm-hmm.
just median the whole thing, that's 220 million times 10 per month.
Yeah.
They're getting paid before this product even out now. So we deserve. I feel like we deserve better written shows now because it's like the risk is gone now. Now you can just put out good content. You're getting your
That's
money already.
but you know what? I really gave up on everything after Game of Thrones.
I hate to even
I
think
know you
about that
like
show.
I know you like don't
It's one of
I
the
know you
best
like
shows
don't
of
I know
all
you like
time.
don't bring that up.
Turned out to be crap.
How you feel about them talking about Jon Snow coming back with another spinoff? So they got a spinoff coming out and then they got another spinoff coming out.
Um, I I want to say 43rd president said it best. Fool me once. If, I can't be fooled again. You're not getting me. You're not
Right.
getting me, bro. I'm not. I don't listen. I don't trust the Game of Thrones people. I don't trust who handling that show because of how they handle the first series. I don't trust what's that? They're doing a Lord of the Rings spinoff right now. Amazon.
Hobbit wasn't a spinoff?
The Hobbit was not a spinoff. It was a trilogy based on a short book that was actually an actual book, but it was the fact that they made it a trilogy, trying to milk that for trilogy money like they had with the first trilogy.
Right.
You see that it's all about money to them. It's not about the actual artwork. It's not about the actual art form. They don't care about the product that they putting out. So I don't trust this new Lord of the Rings thing. I only like new properties, new ideas, and hopefully people start funding some of this stuff because some of these new ideas are they blowing the roof off with some of the new stuff that's like you said, Stranger Things is a new property. People don't have no legacy, nothing to live up to. It's just somebody who had a dope idea and they wanted to, see that play out. So that's what
Right.
we getting.
Right. So if people don't know about Stranger Things, basically, I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. Would you just say a bunch of kids ended up finding a monster? Is that even how it started? I mean, because
Well,
I didn't even understand the plot of it when I first started watching it. I think that's why I cut it off the first time.
Stranger Things is basically the story. It starts off some kids in the 80s and one of their friends go missing, but the place he went missing to was not in this world. It was in a parallel dimension to this
Mm-hmm.
world that they call
Mm-hmm.
the upside down.
Mm-hmm.
And then we find out a whole bunch of other stuff that's connected to it as the
Right.
story progresses.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
it's pretty dope.
yeah,
Loving it.
it's dope. Okay.
Hey, real quick, I gotta ask you: are we live right now so I can share this?
Yeah, we live.
Okay, let me go to it so I can share this broadcast real quick. But go ahead, fire away.
So my thing is, so I was watching, and I was like, I first of all, I can't really because I like shove so much information into my head so quick. So
Right.
first off, last season I felt bad for my boy Billy, man. I felt bad for Billy, bro. Everybody like Billy deserved it. Billy was a prick. I'm like, bro, Billy had a reason behind why he was how he was, man. But like when he was driving that car fast as hell, like he was about to hit them, I was like, oh, this little nigga off the chain. Like
No,
I'm
Billy
like,
was cool, man. That was my dude.
yeah, I like Billy. They ain't had to do the boy like that, but I mean, right now I feel like I hope they don't do Eddie like that. I hope they I like Eddie. I hope they don't do
You
Eddie
like
like
Eddie,
that. But
man? Eddie funny.
yeah,
Eddie
Eddie funny, man.
funny. Eddie
Yeah,
funny.
Eddie
I'll
funny.
give him that.
So first, the on the first, I already put on this. I already put on here in the description that it was a spoiler. Like
Right.
I already put in the description that it was a spoiler. So
Okay.
my thing is that of course from the third season into the fourth season they took like was that 3 years?
I don't know if it was exactly three, but it was a nice little break.
Right, right. I mean it seemed like because it was like what 2019 season 3 came out and then
Yeah,
2022 they
but
just dropped.
I erased all the pandemic years out of my brain.
Oh.
Like I honestly like the pandemic years is so hard to deal with. Like
Yeah,
I just it's like it happened, whatever.
yeah. I feel you. I feel you. So on this season, they went to the first thing I noticed is that they had because at the end of on the end of season 3, um they said Hopper died. Hopper had
Right,
supposedly died in an explosion.
right. He had to go
And
film. He had to go film. Black
what's
Widow.
I was about to say he was in Black Widow.
Yeah.
He was the enemy, right? Like the her arch
No,
nemesis. No,
no.
I
He was in
never
Black Widow.
never
Uh,
seen it.
no. You gotta watch it, man. He's hilarious in there. He's the Red Guardian in Black Widow. He's the Russian version of Captain America. And the
Oh,
whole
okay.
movie, he like trying to figure out if he keep asking questions about Captain America, like, do he talk about me at all? Did he
Yeah,
ever tell you about the time we fought? You know what I'm saying? Just stupid
yeah.
shit. But
Yeah,
yeah, he's funny.
I didn't know that, but I see that they said Hopper died, and then Joyce took 11 with her to California with Will and her other son,
Right.
and so I guess they started high school like they freshmen right now. So basically they freshmen because they in the
Right.
Hellfire group. And when I first seen it, I thought Eddie was another bully. Like I'm like Eddie just another bully or something. But I think it's dope that he brought them in and actually showed them love when nobody else would. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, look, we gonna make our own group and we gonna be cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make us cool. And like we freaks then. We gonna be freaks, we gonna be freaks together. You know what I'm saying? So I really dug that. The writers, man, they went crazy with the I didn't expect Max to be like the forefront. Like right, like basically, I was waiting for the story, like the next story, like who was gonna be messing with. Because I seen the cheerleader, I'm like, okay, the cheerleader, and then Eddie. But I'm like, this shit ain't got nothing to do with the group. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with the group. They could have picked anybody else to fuck with, but for it to be Max, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I know I'm not an '80s baby, bro, but that damn song, I can't get it out of my head. You know what song I'm talking about? That's that if I could, I make a deal with God.
Oh yeah. No, that song is everywhere. That song is everywhere now. It's blown up because of the show. But no, them picking Max to go with was pretty dope because, but that's an example of good writing. Like you need, there's a cause and effect to everything. Like you need the group to be involved somehow, right?
Yeah.
But we already showing that the group is kind of breaking up. You see what I'm saying? So how do we get is his name Caleb? I can't remember. I think that's his real name, but the kid that's on the basketball team now,
Lucas.
Lucas. Okay, so how do we get Lucas involved back in the thing? Because he's splitting off from the group. The one person he really care about is Max. That's his girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So you get him back involved in the shenanigans, which brings him back in contact with the whole group. It's just good writing, and it's not even that complicated. You know what I'm saying? This is not rocket science. It's just, I'm giving you plain old cause effect. This is what happened. This is what had to happen after that, and the fact that they able to execute it like that.
Right.
Like obviously I couldn't be your uncle, and you couldn't have grown up at the same time as me. But it would be so dope if you understood how well they capture the feeling of those 80s movies and moments. Because like who's ever writing this stuff, people have a tendency to, like, when they do the 80s stuff, it's a whole bunch of it's like a cartoonish way of doing the 80s. Like we're gonna do the clothes, we're gonna do the sunglasses, the pop collar, stupid stuff like that. No, they capturing the whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like when they do that in this show, they capture the whole vibe. It's not a thing of like we just putting on the front like this is an 80s thing. No, this is a story that takes place in the 80s, and it feels like the 80s if you grew up.
But but you know what? I didn't even grow up in it. Is that Jeremy?
You say what?
Is that Jeremy? Jeremy in the chat?
I'm not looking at the chat. Hold on, let me see.
9 Mile Brandon.
Oh yeah, that's my homie Jeremy.
I know. I called him motherfucker John.
Running up that hill.
but I'm like thing is that I'm not even born in the 80s like was raised in the 80s, but bro, I feel like they did an amazing job like making it giving it that 80s feel. You feel me? They gave it an amazing 80s feel, because I'm not even from the 80s, but from like the clothing to even the lingo they were saying to each other. It was real, like it was 80s lingo.
Dude, it's the lingo. It's the way people behave towards each other. It's the 80s style bullying. It's the 80s style just I don't really know how to. It's one of them things where it's like a vibe, and you can feel it. You might not be able to express it verbally, but you know when it feels right. I've seen a lot of people try to do that 1980s feel, and it never comes off like that. They really got it down pat with this.
It gave me Karate Kid feel. You feel me? Like it gave me.
There you go.
It gave me real 80s. Like it gave me 16 Candles feel type thing.
Right.
Like the and then like I was so curious about it that I went and looked up the music. Like every time I heard a song or something, I would Shazam it, and I was like, damn, this is based in 84. This song came out in 84. Like, damn, this was based in 86. This song came out in 85. I'm like, man, they really stuck to it. They really stuck to it. Yeah. So Hopper is in Russia. He in
Papa's
Russia
in
right
Russia.
now. He's in
Right.
Russia, and Max going through the thing that she going through right now. With so basically, one thing that I peeped is that
Are you finished with it yet? Before I say anything about it.
I'm finished. I'm finished. I wouldn't even be talking about it if I wasn't
Oh,
finished.
okay.
But no, I
Yeah.
finished it, and what I loved about it the most, I see you. What I love about it the most is the fact that they didn't they didn't give up on, because I heard they feel bad for killing off the cheerleader. Did you read that? They didn't know that the cheerleader and the other girl was gonna have like the cheerleader and Eddie was gonna have so much good chemistry. So they was like they
Oh,
kind of
on
felt
screen
bad
chemistry, and now
on
they felt
screen.
bad.
They felt bad for killing her off. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I realized for sure, and this was before anybody spoiled it for me or anybody like stopped me, from watching it or anything. But when I heard the first couple of episodes, I started hearing like when people were going to the like start having the little dreams and like dream walking and stuff. I started hearing Freddy Krueger sounds. I watched so much Nightmare on Elm Street because I'm such an 80s fan. So when I was
Right.
watching it, I'm like, I start hearing the eerie noises from Freddy Krueger, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is this Freddy Krueger noises? Why is it Nightmare on Elm Street noises? And I was like, oh, yo, this is like the dream thing. Like it's a dream thing. So even when they'll be
Right.
walking up, I was like, okay. But when I actually fast forward, when I actually seen my man's make a cameo, I was like, oh, they didn't snap. And the irony and the fact that Freddy Krueger is known for hunting people in their dreams, and he was being hunted in his dreams. I was
Yeah.
like, this is beyond dope. Yeah.
Yeah. And see, here's the thing, and this is what's dope about it. So, like, a lot of Stephen King hit movies. Stephen King hits with the books and the movies, even though it's a
Mm-hmm.
renaissance lately. But I don't want to go off into a ramble about that. But a lot of his stuff was
Mm-hmm.
in the 80s. Then you
Right.
got like Wes Craven, John
That's
Carpenter.
crazy. Right.
A lot of these people, like the golden era of those type of movies was the 80s. Because you got to think
Mm-hmm.
about like all the icons came from then. Like if it wasn't the late 70s, it was the
Mm-hmm.
80s. You
Mm-hmm.
had like Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy
Mm-hmm.
Krueger,
Right.
Chucky, all,
Mm-hmm.
like all of the horror icons you could think about right now, that's when they came out.
Right.
Outside of Dracula, dog. Like Dracula is way back. But everything else on film, all that shit came out in the late 70s and in the 80s.
Mm.
And this show is like a love letter to that, man. And for like a person like me who grew up loving horror films, this show is like perfect. Like to me, here's the thing that people don't realize. When you a kid and I don't know what the kids do now. Like I know they got like those what do you call them? The like little hoverboards, you'd have had the wheelies, you'd have had
Mm-hmm.
the inline skates and all that shit. In the 80s, you had a bike.
Yeah.
And it's a very simple thing. No. Peep this though. It's
You had a bike.
You had a bike. It was a very simple thing. But the vibe in the 80s, if anybody grew up then and you watch movies, you know what would happen is in order to show the adventure started in one of these movies, what happens? The kid go outside and hop on a bike.
Yeah.
And then you had to establish a shot of the neighborhood and the kid riding through the neighborhoods on their bikes because now it's adventure time. Now the Lost Boys and shit like that, like
Mm-hmm.
the Goonies, anything.
It gave me that vibe too. Yeah.
You get on that bike and you start riding because this is the summertime. We dealing with something. Me and my friends, we outside. This is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You on that bike, bro. I've seen people try to imitate that shit. I'm telling you right now, on Stranger Things, for some reason, whenever shit go down and they grab them bikes, I be feeling like I'm back as a kid again. I'm like, oh, it's all now. Them niggas is on their bikes.
Hey, when your boy Lucas pulled up and was like, when he supposed to came found it, because I didn't like how they kind of like sold him out a little bit. You feel me? They could have sold anybody else out, you know what I'm saying? They could have sold Mike out, but they didn't have to sell him out like that. I understand he was tired of getting bullied and all of that, but
he had an out. He was the one kid in the group who had an out. He had a talent that they didn't
Jeremy.
have.
I send you an invite, Jeremy, to get your ass up in here. I definitely send you an invite.
If he available now, send his ass an invite.
All right, I will. I'll send him an invite if he's available now. But I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? They made Lucas like that, and he like when they was like, you know these freaks, Lucas, and he like, nah, man, they know my little. He like, nah, man, they know my little sister, and he was like, what? You know what I'm saying?
He's like, my sister played that evil devil game with these people.
Right. But no, what was funny was what was hilarious to me was the fucking the jocks. The jocks when a police officer, I'm like, these police officers are horrible. These police officers are horrible. First of all, when you ask this man the questions that you was asking him, you weren't even supposed to say like, "Hey, do you know about your girlfriend hanging out with this other guy?" And he instantly like, "What the fuck did he do to her? What did he do?" Like, bro, chill out.
See, I think
created a whole vigilante ass town.
He created a vigilante mob. He created a vigilante mob. But listen, I don't even want to go into all that because there's a reason for that. But that's a Hollywood trope that they seem to not be able to get away from. That inept black guy behind a badge. Like that's something. That's just something they do that like all the time. Like
he can't even control his own town.
Like we see it so much, but it is what they always overwhelm when the black guy get in charge. He's overwhelmed with what's going on, or if he's a security guard, he always fall asleep at the post or let the wrong person in because he easily fooled, and you know what I'm saying, or he lackadaisical about his job. That's just a Hollywood trope that I've been noticing. And they rarely get away from that. Even if they make a cool ass black sheriff, like the black dude with the hat on Halloween, the newer ones.
Yeah.
The last two, when the town started going crazy, he kind of just sat on the stairs and was looking like, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you the fucking police. You're supposed to be in charge. You just shut this shit down.
But they couldn't. I mean, they couldn't come in for him to be like, yeah, they the devil and all of this other stuff, and they didn't sack. But my thing is, how in the hell could they put any of that on Eddie in the first place? That's my thing. Like, I don't understand how they could have put any of that on, because I don't think how could they put that on the Freddy Krueger dude? Like, you know what I'm saying? How could they think like, I don't understand.
It's easy to put it on Eddie because Eddie left. First of all, it was a murder at your house. You was the only one there. People saw you. You was the last person with the victim. They saw her alive going into your place, and then they saw you scramble out, jump in the car, and leave. She's dead at your house. You left. That's it. I mean, like, look, put it like that. I'm not even a detective, and I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. But even I would be like, we got to get Eddie. This motherfucker, they killed this girl. I don't know how he did it.
But my thing is, I wouldn't have did that. I wouldn't have been able. It was like they was to the point where they was actually saying like, pretty much he did it, and that we believe he did it. Like when they found Eddie, they was like, hey man, they pretty much think you did this shit, dog. Like they sold on you doing this. And my thing is that, like, was that his uncle? His uncle was like, nah, Eddie different, but this is a different type of.
Oh yeah, his uncle was there, and his uncle gonna vouch for him. But I mean, your family gonna vouch for you? You know what I'm saying? Like your family gonna say, I don't know. I see them putting it on Eddie because, like I said, he ran. But also, if he just stayed there, he would have just got locked up. He would have been locked up like dude. Yeah. You know, shit. Well, it would have been what it is. You know.
Okay, so the people that came, so I can't skip this. I have to talk about it. What was your reaction when 11 hit old girl in the face with the skate?
First of all, I enjoyed that because that's something that actually used to happen in the 80s. Wow. It was true to the code. Yeah, getting hit in the face with a skate was a risk you ran back in the day. That could have happened. And secondly, I thought it was dope because she didn't have her power, but she realized she still had power. Like, I beat this bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I might not have my power where I can like float this broad across the room, but I'm gonna give her this skate business. You know what I'm saying? It's like she gonna get this skate business.
And when she did it, like my reaction was like, damn. damn, like, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, she really cracked her shit open. Like, she really, like, it
Yeah.
was really like a crack in her
I
skull and shit.
I was waiting for them to be scared and pull one of those moves where she hit her in the face of the skate, she started bleeding, and then it was just like a vision in her head, and she didn't actually do it, and she was
I
still
thought it was
standing
a
there.
vision.
I thought they was gonna do that thing, and I was like, "Oh, they finna do this cheap." And no, she bust that bitch open. And then what was so dope about it? This is the dopest part that people don't. She busted. Hold on, I'm looking at this down. Okay, she busted this bitch open with the skate, and she didn't leave the skating rink. She would have sat down over by the benches, like she
Right,
would have sat down, bro. Like that's crazy. That's real life. Like in one of those moments where you kind of just snap. You don't really even think. You just be like, ah, all right, I gotta sit my ass down because I didn't bust
right,
this bitch.
right. And she was, and she,
She
and
bust
she
that
like,
shit.
yeah, she split her shit open, and then Mike, like, you know, everybody in there trying to calm her down. You know, everybody in there like, you know, yeah. So what happened? And everybody like, oh, it wasn't shit. You know, it really wasn't nothing. Mike like, it looked bad to me. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is you on? Just like we trying
Mike is he's the leader of the group now, and he's trying to be, because I feel like Dustin was the leader of the group in the previous season. Even though Mike was billed as the main character, I feel like Dustin was kind of running things. Like he had that sense of adventure to his character, but Mike is trying to be the concerned boyfriend. He's the mature guy now. You know what I'm saying? He came in from out of town to see his girlfriend, his best friend, wildly flaming right now, and he ain't even saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
Will is like Will is looking at Mike like, you know what I'm saying? Like is, and Mike looking like, fam, like go ahead and just say that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but you know what? I knew that about him because I'm like, this nigga ain't gonna change his hair. Like he ain't gonna not.
No. No, I think Will got two things going with his character. First of all, all his friends is gone. He in a whole nother town,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got that trauma that he had from when he disappeared into the upside down and was there for all that time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably as close to crazy as you could fucking be at this point. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? He's legitimately almost insane at this point. So then you have that, and then you have the fact that everybody else is trying to move on with their life. Like Dustin got a girlfriend.
Oh
What you
man, that house show is
um
hilarious.
what's his face? Damn, Lucas then joined the basketball team. He out here moving, you know what I'm saying, moving different. He trying to be a
Mm-hmm.
cool guy, you know what I'm saying. Then you got
Mm-hmm.
Mike, you know what I'm saying. He got shit going on now, you know what I'm saying. He got a girlfriend out of state, but he's still trying to take care of business so he can be back with his lady.
Mm-hmm.
So Will don't have nothing but the trauma that he has.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? Like he's literally sitting there still not recovered fully from dealing with being in the upside down and all that shit. So yeah, I think Will
Yeah.
about to like go crazy.
Yeah, I think Will I don't know. I feel bad for him. Every time I look at him, I still see him like shaking his shit when they was burning the damn Gorgon. Like when they was burning what was it they was burning? But
The
whatever they
Demi
was burning,
Gorgon.
yeah, the Demi Gorgon, and then nigga was like seizing up and shaking shit. I was like, damn, get him some help, get him some milk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he really don't have that. And look, then the only chance at normalcy he had was like his mom was starting a relationship with Hopper and shit. So he
Mm-hmm.
was finna have a whole family, and then next thing you know, Hopper loose. His mama like, fuck it, we out of here. Then his mama had another
Don't
boyfriend.
forget about Bob.
That's what I'm saying. Don't forget.
Bob.
That's what I'm saying. Don't forget Bob. So Bob came around. So Bob was a cool motherfucker. Then Bob then died in these streets, and now y'all have moved all the way across the damn country. You moved from the Midwest. I think what is the show at now in LA or some shit like that?
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
they
In
somewhere
LA.
in California.
Yeah,
So yeah, you
yeah,
to
they in
move from a small Midwest town to you out in California,
Mm-hmm.
and the only family you got out there is a semi crazy girl with powers who can't talk,
Yeah.
and your crazy ass mama who paying people to go to Russia to find Hopper, not knowing that Black Widow already broke him out of the Russian prison.
She's talking about Black Widow. Hey,
Yeah,
but
no,
how
it's
you
crazy. I thought it was crazy as shit that Hopper went to a Russian prison, and then in the Black Widow movie, he was in a Russian prison getting broken out.
how
It's
how
like
you feel about old boy though? What's his name? That
Send that invite. Send that
that's
invite
with
real
Joyce.
quick.
That's with Joyce.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
Who? Wait, say that again.
The person that's with Joyce. Text me his email. But the person that's with Joyce.
The person
The
that's with
dude
Joyce.
that's translating the Russian.
Oh, dude, funny as hell. That's one of my
Oh,
favorite actors.
he hilarious.
Yeah, no. He one of my favorite actors.
He's hilarious. You
All right.
sending it to me?
Yeah, I'm getting the email right now. I don't know why it's taking so long. Copy and paste. Anyhow, but yeah, no, that's one of my favorite actors, man. Dude is fucking hilarious. Let me find you. There you go.
Been running up that hill. Been running up that road.
But yeah, no, he's one of my favorite actors, and I like that he's played for comedy, but he also has a serious side to him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the Yuri character that played Yuri, hi, I'm Yuri. That was
Hey, I like Yuri, man.
he
Come on through.
he told us that wasn't what we were supposed to do. That wasn't a deal. It works out for Yuri. I'm like, damn. Like that, it works out for Yuri.
Yeah, I like that shit. They like I said, they hitting all of the they hitting all of the parts that they need to hit. They're actually making the funny parts funny. The serious parts are actually serious. It's a little to me. I feel like it's a little light on the horror, but I feel like that's okay because it don't have to be that scary. And realistically, it ain't really too much you can show them at this point that's gonna scare me. So I mean, unless they go like super dark with the like Insidious or something like that, it's not gonna get more scary. It's just actually just a dope ass show. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think they're gonna go that dark. You know, and plus I think they got what, one season left.
A lot, but you know what? No, they doing a season 5. Yeah, they doing a
Yeah,
season
this
5.
season 4 now, right?
Yeah, but they got a part 2 to season 4.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still the same. See, they record that shit all at the same time, split it up so people won't cancel their membership after they binge watch the whole show. I mean, that's part of this new model. Excuse me.
Well, you know, people probably just get their Netflix subscription so they can watch Belly Part 2 with the game. So.
I've literally never seen it. I've never seen it. I've never even seen the credits for it.
It's horrible. It's
never seen it.
It's pretty bad, but you know what? It is what it is, you know. But yeah, Yuri and somebody told me that the whole Russian thing with did he get the invite?
I don't know. I sent him your 9-mile Brandon email. So check that one.
Yeah, I sent it to him.
Yeah. But anyhow.
But yeah.
Go ahead. What was you saying?
I said some people were saying they didn't like the Russian scenes. Like they didn't like Hopper being in jail. I thought it was dope, but you know, you got people nowadays, they like want action, and they don't like the talking, too much talking, especially the younger crowd. But I felt like honestly that was some of my favorite.
Yeah, the dialogue is what makes all the action worth it. Like
people didn't want to see people disrespecting Hopper or hurting Hopper. You know, a lot of people.
I can see that. You don't want to see your favorite character getting beat up and did wrong and nothing. But I mean, still, that don't change. I don't know. You need that build up. You can't just have a thing where it's just like all action with no reason, and then you can't. Well, to be fair, I can't watch some shit with it just like 90% dialogue, but still.
I can too.
But at the end of the day, like with the action, you need a reason for it to make sense. Like if you didn't have all those little talks, those little walking conversations and those declarations and speeches and moments of discovery and all that shit in like the Lord of the Rings, then the battle of Minas Tirith would have been a dope ass battle, but it wouldn't have had no emotional weight to it. You care about what's happening when people are having these fights and these crazy, you know, all this action and shenanigans and shit because you care about the character. But if you don't know the character, if you're not talking to them or listening to what they're talking to each other about or whatever, so to speak, then it's just a bunch of action. Like, and who wants to see that shit? I don't.
Hold on, let's see my boy. Is he in here? He in there right there. Go right there.
I got to get my Joel's coming right now to help me get the camera working. Can you guys hear me?
Okay.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Okay.
Tell Joel to hurry up and don't get distracted.
He's right here. Yeah, I'm in their podcast. I just don't have the camera on.
Right. So you're gonna open.
Joe gonna get distracted and start. Next thing is gonna be a whole nother setup in there.
And then at first,
It went to
we'll show
Wonderland?
you the
Yeah, I'll go ahead and let him figure that out.
Figure it out.
Yeah,
But-
bring him back when he get up there. But
Right.
so I'm loving the whole Russian thing. Dude, that after Yuri snitched on them and everything, but the fact that the guy that was helping him, I understand money talk over there, but they had no hope. There you go right there. There you go.
All right.
Yo,
Test the mic.
Oh, I muted it. I muted it for a second.
All right,
'cause I was
yeah, there you
talking. There we go. We all good?
Yes. So we
That's
was
what's up.
talking about Yuri. It's Yuri.
Yuri was great. I like
Yeah.
Monty. I like Monty even better. Monty might be my favorite character on the show.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
He was actually good at karate, which I thought was a
No,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And how he was like, I've only done this. I've never actually in person with someone. Like I've never actually fought someone before.
right. But I did fight Jeremiah, and Jeremiah's
Yeah, he's a big kid. He's a big kid. You don't know.
Right, but he like, but they're Russian, but I can actually fight. I'm like, that shit is that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they hit on the comedy part, they hit on the serious notes. The show really has no fat on it for me. I've never
this
watched
season,
the episode. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be hard pressed. I haven't rewatched the first few
Thanks, man.
before,
Mhm.
but I would be hard pressed to find where I'm looking at it like, damn, we could have did without this. You know what I mean? Like
No,
it's they really hit
there was
their
maybe some
stride
of
with it.
that in the previous couple of seasons. Season 1 was perfect. Season 2 and season 3, like I probably just watched them once, so I'm probably not as well versed. But like my opinion was, it just didn't like hammer its way home with me like this season did. Dude, the running up that hill stuff, like that scene was fucking awesome. Like it was, like it was so good.
Yeah,
And
it was amazing.
yeah, and like I honestly, to be full disclosure here, is I didn't even like I was watching it and I fell asleep during that episode.
Okay.
So like, and I for some reason like I must have not gone back there or like didn't like I woke up on like episode 5, so I just started episode 5 over and I never actually finished that episode. The first watch through. So we were in the car and that song came on the radio. And my wife was like, "You don't know what this is?" And I was like, "I recognize it a little bit." She was like, "You watched Stranger Things, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I watched it to the end." She was like, "Then you missed
You
something."
didn't watch it. You're right.
So I went back and
fell asleep.
rewatched it. And dude, that scene, I was like, "Oh my God, I can't fucking believe I missed that." Because it was so good, so well done. Her crawling through the liquid shits all over, fucking incredible. Like it was my favorite scene of the whole season so far.
Hey, look, we doing all this talking, and we got another voice that came into to the podcast, and now we all talking about. Nobody's talked about Barb. Justice for Barb.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Bro, they killed Barb while she was playing lookout for her homegirl getting her freak on. So, like she died in the most in a scary movie trope, you supposed to die if you the girl who out here freaking. You know what I'm saying? If you out here busting down,
that was a little
you supposed to be and they pretty much reversed that whole thing. And they killed Barb, bro, in the damn swimming pool by herself. Sent this bitch to the upside down. Nobody only talk about it. Even in the opening scene of this season, your man's was sitting out there. It was like, yeah, our great hero, Sheriff Hopper, and he started naming the victims and shit, and he didn't say nothing about Barb. Like,
He didn't name Barb?
No, they like Barb didn't even exist, bro. Like, come on, justice for Barb. And then they showed her in this season, and she was still down there, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, she was down there dead in the pool that Shorty was in. Like, yeah, that was crazy. But if we gonna talk about how smart Dustin is,
yeah, I told you, Dustin. To me, I felt like Dustin was the leader of the squad in the previous seasons, but they don't. It's like they trying to make Will more of a out front leader type now.
You said Will?
Not Will. I'm sorry, Mike. I mean, look.
Yeah,
I know.
He was in Ghostbusters. He's like the only kid of the group that I don't really care for. Like as far as like not Mike the character, but
you talking about the actor.
Like
he wasn't bad in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but you know what? I thought he was going to be the main character out of the kids in Ghostbusters, and he wasn't. It was his little sister.
No, he was. His little sister was
phenomenal. Yeah,
yeah.
He looks like Miranda Crossgrove.
Megan.
Who that is?
He definitely
Megan.
He definitely looked like iCarly. I don't know why, but
okay.
Wait, that's who that is?
That's Miranda Crossgrove. Yeah,
but that's Megan, right? I
recognize that name
from Drake and Josh.
Yeah. That's her.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm about to say, I know I used to watch that with my kids. I know, I'm like, because they use Drake and Josh. They use every time she do something, Josh would be like, Megan.
Yeah, yeah. They definitely did. So my question is when the people that came and got 11,
right,
and took her because they tried to lock her up from hitting old girl in the face with the skate. So the people that came and got 11, and then the people that came to the house and killed the people that came and got 11, and was sitting there with her, like, who was they? Like,
those are the generals. Like, the general. I didn't catch his name, but the general. Those are the general's men. Right. The guy that's been hunting them. The guy in the helicopter. The black general.
Right. See, he wants to shut the whole shit down.
Right.
The program that the doc was running, aka 11's dad, daddy, or whatever she called it, Papa. Yeah. So 11's Papa was part of this program where he was doing these experiments with these gifted children, and the offshoots of that program are the people who are still functioning like on the fringes, and they try to come and save 11 so they can get her to, back to her power, so they can, have her as a weapon against whatever's coming from the upside down. And the people who were actually in charge, like the ones still a part of the government and shit like that, they want to shut this whole shit down altogether. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
those dudes were blowing away American soldiers that were running up in the house.
Yeah.
Like he was just shooting. Those were American soldiers, right? Those weren't Russian dudes. Those were like the dudes.
No, those were the Russians. The people that was sitting with the kids that was guarding them.
Right.
Those were actual agents
or whatever.
Right. They were actual agents. That was part. They all was in the same team. Let's just say that. And we just
that. Well, I forget who was it that explained that the people that were working in the lab and the people that protecting them, that whatever, those people like gave up their lives and their families because they believe in you.
Right.
They believe you're our only hope, at stopping this evil that's coming, So like, that's why those agents are willing to shoot at American soldiers, because they believe that it's the only way that it's, when you're at that state of belief, in something, whether it might be, or I mean, whether you don't even want to call it belief at this point. For these people, they actually know the shit is true.
Right, the stuff is real. They see the stuff.
Real. So like, they don't like these Americans that don't believe that. They don't believe, they believe it's bullshit, and they're going after them, and just like, yeah, well, you got to shoot them, because whatever you believe, it doesn't matter, because this dude Vecna is trying to end all of the shit. Like,
and look, I don't even think Vecna is the dude. I still think it's whatchamacallit, because I think she just hurt him.
You still think it's who?
What was his name? Not so the Demogorgon was the first thing that you saw, but the Demogorgon was like a minion of
just a soldier,
right? Of what was the character's name? The big one that you saw,
the Mind Flayer.
The Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer wasn't defeated. The Mind Flayer was stopped. No, I thought she just stopped him from crossing over. Because remember, they took her down to the breach.
He was the meat Flayer or whatever. It was the thing, the big glob. It was like came to life.
Collecting all the meat from people.
Yeah, but I don't think that was the Mind Flayer either.
But wait.
Oh, so you think that was I thought that was the Mind Flayer to like come to fruition in our reality.
But see, my thing is
that not the right side up.
Is that what they tried to say was what was inside of Mike? I mean, that was inside of Will?
Yeah.
Inside of Will was the Mind Flayer.
Okay. So
that was season 2.
Okay, right? So my thing is the thing that was inside of Will.
Yeah, season 1 and 2.
And it was left out, like basically it was still out and about. But my thing is when 11 pushed 1 through the wall into the dimension and those things got to hitting him, I could have sworn I seen that same Mr. Black stuff up just same way that it did when they poured it out of Will.
Right.
So you don't think that Vecna is the big bad? You don't think?
No, Vecna is the current bad. I think the Mind Flayer, the only time we seen it was in the drawings. Remember the drawings that they was I can't remember if that was Will that was drawing it. And then you saw it in the visions when they was going into the Upside Down, and it was like that giant. It never changed forms. It never like took on the form of something else. It was always that big ass thing. And then when they went down into that breach on that elevator, it was actually crossing over to our world. And 11 went down there and she did the floating thing, and it ended the season when she stopped it from crossing over. But now you had the next thing, the Meat Slayer or Meat Flayer or whatever you called it, Jeremy. That was just another. But know what I'm saying? That's just another meaning because it never took the form of the Mind Flayer. It literally is just another thing that was coming at them because they had the Demogorgon. No, I think the Mind Flayer at the end of the day is going to be the end game. For what they trying to do.
I did see this theory that it's been Vecna all along because you hear if you go back and watch, you hear like the clock chimes in some
from the old seasons.
From the old seasons, like they were planting that seed from the very beginning. Which I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know what the creative process was for this show. If they just, came up with the idea for season 1 and then it became it was a cultural phenomenon.
Right.
Is that the right word? Yeah, I would say that, So they had to, all right, now we got to do this bigger and better. And then they continued writing from there. I don't know if they had a beginning to end source material from the start. I'm not sure on that.
Right. It could be, if it's Vecna, then that basically means 11 is the most powerful thing in that universe because she created him. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like,
well, did she create? She pushed him into this dimension where he was created.
Yeah, but who would have had the power to because they didn't transform Billy, they didn't transform Barb. You know what I mean? Like other people that
transform either until he was pushed through there.
Once she pushed him through, that's when he
maybe, but it looked like it was just like the Upside Down wasn't organized into a seemingly in that scene, it wasn't organized into an upside down of the city of Hawkins. It looked like just like
it wasn't. It was just a valley or something
floating through it.
Right.
And then he started to strike. So maybe he brought that to life, the Hawkins thing, because that's where he was from or he grew up, because their house was in Hawkins, right?
To be fair, they didn't show a different. They haven't shown another city or any other property.
That's what I'm saying. Like
upside down, they've only ever shown
Hawkins, hell, or the Upside Down, but it wasn't organized into. He made it a reflection of the town that he knew. Vecna did.
Oh, and by the way,
I honestly think he's the big bad of the whole thing. Like I think he created the Mind Flayer. It was his first attempt at making something evil come to life like that.
Yeah.
Could be.
So my thing is that with that it was so he is one. That is one, right?
Yeah,
he was one.
Okay. So he was one. So my question is, how was her name's Nancy, right? Nancy? Is her name Nancy?
Mm-hmm.
How was
skinny
Nancy?
Chick.
How was Nancy when she was with Vecna and they was and one was explaining to 11 and Nina, how was she able to see everything? Because when he was explaining and Nancy was in the upside down world, and she was talking to Vecna. She was seeing everything as one was explaining it to 11 and Nina. Like when you watch it at the end, like towards the end, and when one was explaining it to 11 and Nina, and they were showing the scenes, you could see Nancy like walking through what he was talking about.
Right.
I'm like what like how was
that?
Like,
The answer to that would be what Jeremy just said, which would be that he might have made that stuff in the upside down himself. So like maybe his thoughts take form there or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, I think Vecna formed the upside down, like
Right.
from that void of clouds and lightning striking him, basically giving him his power over that place or whatever, or enabled him to manipulate that void into a thing that was like a reflection of his, you know, the only world he knew for a little while would have been Hawkins, because that, like I said, that house, if I'm correct, that house is in the city, because
The house is in Hawkins.
They walk to the house, or
The house is in Hawkins.
Okay, right.
But then here's the question for me then: how evil is Papa? Because
I don't know.
11,
he might be indifferent to the suffering of people, but trying to.
Yeah, but here's my thing.
Go ahead.
He knew one fell out of favor with him, but instead of killing him, he let him just walk around there and interact with the other subjects like he was staff.
See, that's where I was confused too. That was one of the things I was confused.
It almost felt like he was letting one manipulate 11.
The thing is I don't
on
think
purpose
they knew if that was one. Like, I want to say maybe they thought one died or disappeared, or maybe he escaped and came back. You know?
Yeah, I feel like Papa would recognize him. And plus, remember, he took him off in a cut that time when they was talking to him, and they showed it like 11 was walking past, and she like looked.
I'm sorry, I'm totally wrong about that. They put the thing in his neck to take his powers away.
Right, the inhibitor.
That's it. Right, my bad.
So what I'm saying is, why would he let him still be there and manipulate 11 unless he felt like he knew what was going to happen, like he wanted that to happen or something? Like, I feel like he let that happen on purpose. But you know what I mean? You ever see what's one of my favorite movies? Ender's Game. So you know Ender's Game, where they kind of let stuff happen to Ender. Oh, they let other kids bully him and stuff just to see what buttons they had to press to get him to do the thing they wanted him to do.
So you think
I feel like Papa is of that same ilk where he literally say, yeah, hell yeah, he sacrificed on it. They sacrificed that kid to Ender. Ender broke that little boy's neck and all that shit. And they was.
Go ahead.
No, but what I'm saying is I feel like that's the type of character he is. I feel like he knows that he wants to build her up to a certain power level, and being nice to her wasn't going to be the thing that did it. So
that's a certain. Now would you call that? That's like, it's like evil is like, you know, like the malice of something. Like his deal is more scientific. Like, we have to stop the ultimate.
Yeah, but science could be evil.
Oh, I know. I know. But it's evil out of necessity rather than just like, I'm going to be evil for the sake of evil. It's a different type of evil.
Well, see, here's the thing. And I agree with you.
Scientific indifference. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree with you. But here's the thing: the motive for him pushing her to that level of power would mean that he had already experienced the upside down or a breach. As was shown,
he knew that was there.
It almost appears as though her pushing one through to the upside down, and he created the upside down or whatever, that was the first breach, because the breach that she made when she pushed him through looks just like the breach from season 1 that they were studying.
Season 1, it does.
Yeah, and it looked like she created that breach between those two realities. So he wouldn't even have known about it
there, and was trying to get her to do that, or that's.
I just think he was just evil, bro. I think he's a mad scientist, and he said, "I want to see what level of power we could push this motherfucker to." We thought one was the one. Okay, he wasn't the one. We tried it with dude. Nope, he ain't the right personality type. We need somebody who's gonna hold all that shit in and then blow up. Because you had the bully types. We don't use them.
He couldn't have forecasted what would have happened. He thought he was toast. Being pushed through that breach, he had no idea he would have been given the power.
I don't think he knew about the Vecna part. I'm saying in order to push one to be, I mean not 11 to be as powerful as she could be.
Right.
I feel like he.
So my thing is, what did they create? What did they create all these kids for? Like, why did they have?
That's my point. Because this is what the governments do in most movies, is in actual real life. The MK Ultra program, all that shit like that. They put people through abuse to try to see first of all, the limits of the human body and mind, but also to see what they can make a motherfucker do. So I mean, that all falls in line with. Unfortunately, it all falls in line with reality. People do that shit in real life to see what they can effectively make soldiers do. You know, that's right up there with like Sparta and anything else. Like, you know, we take the kid and throw him out there to the wolves. If you gotta kill a wolf to come back. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. It's the same shit. We've done it. This stuff is happening in real life. So,
So the Russians now, you think what they did? Did they capture a demo? Where did they get the fucking Demogorgon from?
There's breaches. You remember they had a breach. The Russians had that breach under. No, remember it was under the mall in America. And remember the mall
house in Hawkins.
Yeah, it was in Hawkins.
In the desk and shaking my camera.
Yeah, remember it was in Hawkins, and then when they was investigating, they kept hearing people speaking Russian.
That was season 3.
Yeah, I believe that was 3. Yeah,
right. So they took. What I'm saying is, it's like. So they took from that point, they took that Demogorgon from there and locked it up in that prison, because it seems like they've had it there for a while.
Yeah, they probably had it for a while.
So they took it out of the breach, caged it up, and took it and shipped it over to Russia and put it in this prison with these dudes to like test it out and see how tough it is or whatever you think.
Yeah, and plus it looked like the Russian guards doing what actual people do in real life. Let's throw a motherfucker in the cage and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some bets going. Let's see who lasts. Let's see who lasts the longest. That Demogorgon was whooping their ass.
What he say? He said it take him. What he say? 40 seconds to fuck all them up.
Right.
Like if he taking 40 seconds.
Dude, he grabbed a dude, stabbed him in the back with his claws, picked him up, and smashed his face up on the. Up on the upper part, I was like, "Oh shit!" And then chewed the dude's whole head off. I just
listen.
That was a
look.
Great
He ran.
scene.
Look, he ran up on Hopper and was like, And then Hopper had the fire. He was like, "You know what? Fuck this. I still got 3 others to kill." Turned around,
turned around and just killed.
Listen, and that's my whole point. I was just about to say, I'm not the smartest motherfucker in the world, but if I'm in that cage and then dude turn around and he was like. He said, I fought one of these bitches before. They hate fire. And he is dramatically trying to light this fucking torch. I'm sitting there helping him. I'm putting my hand around it like when you light the cigarette outside. I'm rubbing sticks together like, let's get this fire going, baby. Because me and this motherfucker is going to survive. I would have had my
right here.
Bro, I would have been turning him around like this. I'd have had my hand on his shoulder. I'm like, come on. I'm aiming Hopper at motherfucker. Like, fuck out of here. I'm finna go up here and fight this Demogorgon.
So my question is for y'all is that, help me out. What the hell is up with the 80s and Russians? Every 80s film I watch, every film.
It was always the Russians. It was the Cold War, bro. It was that. It was the
Cold War. It was literally the Cold War. The Cold War, for anybody who's young enough not to know what the terminology means, is this: the Cold War is we're actively engaged in a war with somebody, but not physically. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, I got these guns and I'm gonna put them right here.
Right.
At the edge of your country.
We
gonna move, motherfucker. I'm gonna blast you.
We gonna do everything.
Make a move, motherfucker.
We gonna do everything but actually fight. Right. You understand what I'm saying? We're gonna do everything but fight. So in all of our media, all the bad guys was Russians.
They were all
Whether you
Russian.
was Wesley Snipes on Passenger 57, whether you was Bruce Willis and you was inside a building
They're all
on Christmas
fucking
Day, it's the Russians. The
They all
Russians
was
did
Russian.
that shit.
Yeah, he's right.
The
I think
irony is
Rocky
the
is the
Russians is
Russian.
back now.
Right.
The
Rocky.
Rocky Russian.
The Rocky
All of that
Russian.
shit is Russians, man. The Russians did all that shit.
Like,
Meanwhile,
it-
the Germans was sitting in the back the whole 80s and 90s like this, like, like, yeah.
What was so
I-
funny about it is the fact that with the Russians, like it was like they make shows that TV shows or movies that refer back to the 80s. They was like, goddamn Russians. Like you remember Hot Tub Time Machine when they found the goddamn Red Bull in his backpack, and it was like fucking Russians. I'm like, what?
You know what's crazy though? Just this is a random, but when you think about it, it's gonna make perfect sense. Russia and Austria, well, no, Austria is more German than anything, but Arnold Schwarzenegger played a lot of Russians in movies and shit back then.
Mm-hmm.
And like the fact that he was able to blow up, just like, how did you make a movie career being a Russian back then?
That's crazy.
He blew up, bro. He became an action hero, and a lot of his early shit, that dude was a Russian. And a lot of the people that played Russians with him, I think the last one I saw, he kind of almost blew up. He got stolen by Keenan Ivory Wins and Low Down Dirty Shame. And then I saw him get stabbed by Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first Predator, and I forgot that he was actually in there with Schwarzenegger. But yeah, Russians, they got it bad back then.
Yeah, that's crazy. So my thing is that I heard the next two episodes, right? And one of them supposed to be like an hour and a half, and the other one supposed to be like 2 hours or something like that.
Yep.
What they gonna? So is it the wrap up of this? Because they finished it with showing that he was 001, right? Is that how they finished the fourth season, right? So what do y'all think that's gonna come next? What you think they're gonna wrap it up with?
She's gonna come into her full power. She's gonna kill what's his face, and then she's gonna find out the Mind Flayer's still alive. She has to kill Vecna because, first of all, we got to get justice for Barr, because I think the internet been calling for it.
The Mind Flayer is the ultimate evil that runs.
The Mind Flayer got to be the one, bro. It got to be the one. It's the only one that was able to like reach into people's consciousness and shit like that and fuck with them. Like Vecna is literally just like, Vecna is the girl from The Ring. Like, I'm gonna show you a vision, and then you got a countdown, and then you dead. The Demogorgon is basically like the Predators or the Xenomorphs from Alien. You know what I'm saying? They see you, they gonna hunt you down, they gonna kill you. They all have their own different MOs. You had the Blob, which was the one that like absorbs everybody, the one that Billy died to. And now you still gonna have to deal with the top dog. I want to see. To be fair, like I said, I want to see the actual Mind Flayer, and I think that's gonna be a big budget CG moment. So is they're gonna have to really.
There was some really good big budget effects moments where they be CG or whatnot in this show.
Oh yeah,
practical makeup. They did a great job with the stuff.
Oh yeah, they did a good job in this, except for that bobblehead Baby 11. I feel like I know why they did it, but it felt weird at certain times. It was like, come on, man. It felt weird, but I mean, you trapped yourself in that moment when you CG'd her face to youngify her instead of just taking footage from the old show.
Right,
and reusing it. I feel like they should have took footage from the old show and reused it. But it is what it is.
That shit was Bad Boys 3 bad.
The superimposing of her face on whatever little kid they took. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That was horrible.
The only CG I seen worse than that was you remember the Twilight series? I used to have to take my daughter to the show to see all of those. When they did that CG baby, Renesmee at the end.
I only saw the first movie.
Well, God bless you for that, because Jesus Christ, I had to go to the movie theater to see all of them.
Vampires sparkle in the sunlight.
Sparkly vampire.
I'm out.
Sprinkles. So before we get up out of here, I appreciate y'all for being here with me. I definitely do.
Before you get up out of here, you're going to say something about the goddamn Golden State Warriors. You're not getting away that easy. You're not getting away that easy. Jeremy, let me tell you about this young cat, this young whippersnapper. This motherfucker's going to tell me, I'm 45 years in the game, bro. I know sports. I know he real talk for all the people who, because there's somebody gonna see this shit and people like to talk stupid. My nephew has loved the Boston Celtics since he liked basketball. I painted the Boston Celtics logo on his closet when he's a kid.
I get to make white guy face. Why?
The white guy face. But he actually liked the Celtics way back with Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker. So he actually loves the Celtics. So it's not one of them bandwagon things, like, because a lot of people join like liking teams and shit like that.
It happens
because he likes this team, he felt more confident than he should have. And I don't like either of the teams. I just know the sport.
No stakes.
You know what I'm saying? I have no horse in this race.
Okay,
my whole thing was
okay. So like I'm not even lying right now. I know you told me the game was last night. I totally forgot. Blanked it. Didn't watch a second of it. Haven't seen a highlight. Don't even know who won.
You don't know Golden State won the championship last night. Right, Jeremy, everybody. That is. It is.
And I usually am a sports guy, but I haven't really been into it too much, and I just so happen have not listened to or watched any. I still have my episode of Barstool Sports to listen to today. I haven't even listened to it.
No. But anyway, Golden State won, and the big deal about it was my nephew was very confident about how Boston was going to beat them, and Golden State would win if Miami went to the finals, but Golden State not going to win if Boston go to the finals because these factors and this factor and that first. And I'm like, bro, it's very simple. This shit is 1, 2, 3.
Steph Curry. Everybody
in the league is playing like Steph Curry. You can't outshoot the guy who's the greatest shooter of all time. If the game comes down to who can put up more threes and hit at a higher percentage, they're going to win every fucking time. Until somebody actually play big man basketball, it's a wash.
It came down.
They had the guys to do it. I think the Celtics are a little young.
They didn't have the experience. They came out there and say the old guy.
They're a talented squad. They got big dudes. The old
guy know what to do. You know what I'm saying? The old guy be like, yeah, I'm going to watch him keep throwing punches and I'm going to let him tire himself out. Old guy like, step back. You know what I'm saying? Got it. But them young boys, Steph and them knew. They knew. They was like, we're going to control the time of this game. We're going to control the minutes. And we're going to let them tire themselves out. And them boys came out firing, just trying to win the game. And Steph was like, we're going to give them enough rope to hang themselves. And I knew that was going to happen. It was experience.
No, he didn't.
And plus they coached, and then they coached, they out-coached. I knew their coach was going to get out-coached.
They coach should have been out-coached because Steve Kerr got way more years coaching than Udoka. But here's the problem, and I'm going to say this real quick, and I'm going to leave it the fuck alone because it's not that serious to me, but I have to say this. For anybody who watched this game, there was a point, and I told my nephew this earlier, I watched the game, the whole shit. There was a point in which Al Horford went down into the paint. He realized for about 3 seconds that he was bigger and stronger than everybody on the fucking court, which is what centers are supposed to do. He turned around. He went, they fouled him. He got the layup and won. He started flexing. He did the Karl Malone. He's like showing his muscles and all this shit. The game was in jeopardy at that point. Boston could have won the game at that point if they would have just took an inside approach. Literally, Jason Tatum, not Jason Tatum, what the fucking kid? Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown came down and hit a three, and then the barrage of threes started again. The problem was they was already in a deficit. They come down and shoot a three. Golden State go down and shoot a three. And guess who gonna have a higher percentage shots? Klay Thompson? That's Steph Curry. What's the young boy? It ain't had nothing to do with the old dude knowing they was punching themselves out of nothing. It was a lack of basketball knowledge because everybody's playing the same fucking game. Everybody going for threes. If they would have played on the inside, there's no way in hell Draymond Green wouldn't have fouled out or got 2 technicals and got kicked out of the game and ejected for game 7 or suspended for game 7. All kind of shit would have happened if they would have just kept playing on the inside and put pressure on them. but they did not. They wanted to try to outshoot the greatest shooter of all time, and that's not gonna fucking happen.
Yeah,
How do you defend that dude that can shoot from anywhere?
All
past
the spots on the court.
line. Anywhere past the half court line.
All the spots.
He was shooting from everywhere.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Like when I first saw it start happening, I was like, "What is this dude doing? Like half court line? Who does bang, bang, bang?"
Yeah, bro.
I mean, if he's gonna make them, might as well. And then it just shifted
now
the whole league into.
Now y'all locker room gonna forever smell like champagne because
the other team is champagne.
The visiting team will come every time they come in. It smells like champagne in here. Listen, they had to deal with that shit with the Lakers before. They had to deal with that shit with a couple teams when it over in Boston. But the bottom line is, it was decent basketball being played. I saw my uncle on Facebook earlier. I posted it was great basketball. This was not great basketball. I hope he don't see this because I don't want to argue with him.
It wasn't great basketball.
But this was not great basketball. This was a 3-point contest like most of the league came down to this year. It's a 3-point contest. And stop shooting so many goddamn threes. There's no reason in the world why you 6'10" and above, and every time I see you come up the court, you on offense and you fading out to the corner, or you going up to the top of the key so you can try to get an open three on a kick out. What happened to playing big man basketball? Big man basketball and defense win championships.
You just got done explaining it, Steph Curry.
Yeah, Steph Curry changed the game, which is why what I told him from the locker room.
Right.
But look, this is why I told my nephew. I said, and now the GOAT conversation has to change. Not putting Steph in front of nobody else.
Right.
But
Did you not root for the Bears in the Super Bowl?
Me?
The Bears?
Are you talking to me?
You thought the Bears was gonna beat Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl?
Yes, I did. I was stupid.
With Rex Grossman?
The Bears won.
I was ridiculously over the top excited and knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. And then when Devin Hester returned the opening kickoff,
and I lost my whole voice.
I lost my whole shit, dude. I was running around the house. It's over. It's over. And then the only memory I have left of that was me sitting on the floor with my like hands in my face.
Bro, look,
watching Peyton
and because I have a really good memory, I'm gonna tell you how the Bears lost. They did the same thing I just said that Al Horford and the Celtics did, and the rest of the league did. They forgot what got them to the fucking dance. They forgot how to play fundamental shit. The Bears took the lead early, and they was running the ball in the first half. We had 2 dominant running backs. Motherfuckers forget we had 2 running backs that season.
Thomas Cedric, the only dude who showed up that day.
Can you hear what I'm saying though? And guess what happened in the second half? They was like, let's start deking and dumping 2-yard passes again like we used to do when we wasn't shit.
Like angsty.
I know.
It fucking makes my skin hurt because they were such a good year.
Dude, I had a Bears hoodie. And I was so mad after the Super Bowl. I had to drive to Indiana to go get something to smoke. So I walk in the gas station with my fucking Bears hoodie on in Indiana. Everybody just turned around and looked. I'm like,
damn.
Like, bro, this shit heartbreaking. But anyway, I was wrong, but I wasn't wrong about this.
Before we go, give me something else to watch, man.
You got the right guys on here. You got the boys from the How to Watch TV podcast in the building. So we definitely. We could definitely.
Have you seen Severance?
Severance?
No, I haven't seen it.
You watched Severance this weekend.
That would be one of my first suggestions. Would be Severance. Very, very good, man. I mean, like we did.
Watch Severance this weekend. Trust me.
Like seriously, like
okay,
top-notch television.
It's not like that outsider shit you have to watch.
Have you seen The Boys? Are you like watching The Boys currently?
I'm watching The Boys.
Oh yeah, okay.
The Boys. Oh my god. Listen,
it's good shit.
Listen, this last episode of The Boys, man, they had me a little heated. I said, man, If they don't let A-Train let loose on dude, man, I'm gonna be so fucking
Yeah,
pissed.
but doesn't something bad happen to A-Train if he does let loose?
If A-Train runs again, his heart might explode. But I feel like they're gonna push him to a point where he's gonna go. He's gonna go. But no,
right through that motherfucker.
But no, watch
dumb fucking name. I hate
Blue Hawk. But yeah, he's the police. He's the Blue Hawk. That's my point. He's the police. Yeah, he's literally out there telling people they should be happy he even engaged with them. And it was like Blue Hawk was wilding, bro.
It was pretty.
It was crazy.
When he turned around and he was like, "All lives matter." I was like,
"All lives, no, all lives matter. It's Soup lives matter. Soup's lives matter.
Soup lives matter."
Bro, I was crying. But no, real quick, watch. Like you said, Severance. That's the number one, top of the list. Watch Severance. Agreed. Definitely, 100%. My personal thing I would recommend is another show on Apple TV called Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso is it's a little bit between a comedy and a drama. It's about Jason Sudeikis is an American football coach who gets hired to be a soccer coach in Britain. And it's the only show I've seen address certain mental health issues that a lot of people don't talk about in TV shows and shit. And they do it in a very serious way where you can tell that they know what they're doing and they know what they're talking about, but it's also a funny show. So there's funny moments, but there's serious moments that's like over the top serious. So you should definitely check out Ted Lasso.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that.
Am I like drawing a blank? I don't know. I've been watching a shit ton of stand-up comedy.
Facts. Oh, I see Bill Burr got some new footage out too, by the way. If y'all find it, go check it out. Bill Burr, the last clip I saw of it, he was talking about Kyle Rittenhouse, and I don't think the audience appreciated it at all.
It's on Netflix. It's the Bill Burr presents Friends Who Kill.
Oh shit, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg just put one up there called Fucking Around Comedy Hour. I watched that one last night. It was actually really funny.
See, I haven't even been watching that.
It's not. It's like an ensemble. Not
okay.
Just one dude. It's Snoop Dogg presents Fucking Around. Cat Williams, Mike Epps. I can't remember some of the names.
I'm checking it out.
Funny as hell. Who else did I watch? I watched a dude named Joe Mendy. He's one of the writers on Parks and Rec. Was like surprisingly funny. Like I didn't know what to expect from him when I found it because I was like deep down the Netflix stand-up comedy rabbit hole.
Yeah, you like I say you found some shit.
Right. And he was funny. He was pretty funny. But I mean, other than that, I don't know. I actually kind of need some new shit to watch.
Oh, and real quick, and it's a real
kind of old.
My bad. Go ahead. But no, it was a real short series. It's called We Own This City. It's from the makers of The Wire. I told you to check that out. You watched it?
I haven't watched it yet, but
bro, you gotta watch that shit. You gotta watch that shit. Your man that plays the Punisher, I can't remember his name.
John
Barenthal plays. It's a true story, and they superimpose news clippings, not news clippings, but news footage and actual footage from the actual case that they talking about in the show with the show. And bro, I kid you not, John Barenthal is fucking phenomenal in this show, man. You got to check it out. And it's like I said, it's just a mini series because it's based on a true story that actually happened in Boston. I'm not Boston, Baltimore. So it's not like it's gonna be another season or anything. You just watch what's out there.
So I'm assuming you guys saw my comment before I joined the show. You guys know the original Freddy Krueger is in.
Yeah, he was talking about it. He was talking about it before you came in.
I had to set my phone down or whatever. So yeah, okay, I got you. He's the dude with his eyes sewn shut.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was talking about. I was talking about the irony and the fact that he's known for hunting people in their dreams. And
I don't think there's any irony. I think it's very intentional.
Right.
Right.
But no, that's listen.
That way. No.
Right.
What?
But no, yeah, that's all I had for you. That's all I had. And now I'm hot in this room.
Yeah, I'm hot too. But I appreciate y'all for coming through and doing
That's
this
what's
with
up.
me. See you fellas
Absolutely.
later. I'm about to go to the store and then I'm gonna come back and play some Halo.
Thanks for
Deuces.
letting me join you too. I appreciate it.
All right, y'all. Y'all
All
be
right.
easy.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Yep.